Elias was the best watchmaker in the city. He didn't just fix clocks, he gave them a heartbeat. But Elias had a flaw: he was too kind. He often fixed the watches of the elderly for free, simply because he couldn't bear to see time stop for them. His business partner, a man named Victor, hated this. "Compassion doesn't pay the rent, Elias," Victor shouted one afternoon. In a cruel scheme, Victor framed Elias for stealing expensive parts. The police found the planted evidence in Elias's bag. Within 24 hours, Elias lost his reputation, his shop, and his freedom. Although he avoided jail, he was blacklisted. No one would trust a thief with their time. 6 months passed. Elias was now living in a cardboard shelter in an alleyway behind the very shop he used to own. His hands, once steady enough to manipulate microscopic gears, were now cracked from the cold and shaking from hunger. One rainy afternoon, Elias gathered enough discarded cans to exchange for a few coins. It was just enough to buy a warm cup of tea and a stale bun. He walked to a cafe he used to frequent. The manager blocked the door. "We don't want you here, Elias. You'll scare the customers." "Please," Elias whispered. "I just want to buy tea. I have money." "Money you stole?" The manager sneered. "Go drink from the gutter." Crushed, Elias bought a tea from a vending machine and sat under a leaking awning. He held the warm cup, closing his eyes, imagining it was a warm fire. "Excuse me, sir?" Elias opened his eyes. Standing in the rain was a young man, shivering violently. His clothes were soaked through and his lips were blue. I lost my wallet," the young man stuttered. "I need to get the bus home to my mother, but I'm freezing. I feel like I might pass out." Elias looked at his tea. It was the only warmth he would feel all night. He looked at the bun. It was the only food he had eaten in 2 days. But Elias saw the trembling in the boy's hands. He knew that shake. "Here," Elias said, handing over the tea and the bun. "It's not much, but it's hot." Then Elias took off his own coat, his only protection against the night, and draped it over the boy's shoulders. "Run to the station, don't stop." The boy looked at Elias with eyes that seemed to hold the depth of the universe. "You are cold, yet you give your coat. You are hungry, yet you give your food." The boy reached into his wet pocket and pulled out a rusty, mud-covered pocket watch. The glass was shattered and the hands were bent. "I found this in the mud," the boy said. "It looks broken, like us. Maybe you can give it value." The boy smiled, a smile that instantly warmed Elias's soul and disappeared into the rain. That night, Elias shivered uncontrollably, but he held the rusty watch. By the light of a street lamp, he used a discarded safety pin to carefully scrape away the mud. As the dirt fell away, he gasped. Under the rust was pure platinum. On the back, an engraving, "To the King from the Master Craftsman, 1750. It wasn't just a watch. It was the legendary lost timepiece, missing for centuries, worth millions. The next day, Elias went to the museum. The curator nearly fainted. The sale of the watch didn't just bring Elias thousands, it brought him millions. He bought his old shop back, he bought the building. He even bought the cafe that had kicked him out and turned it into a free kitchen for the hungry. But he couldn't stop thinking about the boy. He wanted to thank him. He searched the city for weeks but found no trace. One morning, Elias sat at his new workbench. He opened the back of the platinum watch one last time to clean the gears. A small folded piece of paper fell out of the mechanism. Elias's hands trembled as he unfolded it. The ink was fresh despite the watch being centuries old. The note read, "You fixed the time for the poor, so I have restored the time you lost. You gave me your coat when you were cold, so I have covered you with blessings. I am the beginning and the end." God. Elias dropped the note and wept. He realized the boy wasn't lost. He was the one who finds the lost. Moral: the world judges you by what you have, but God judges you by what you give when you have nothing.